Hi, my name is Jacob, and I'm here to show you some of the amazing new generative AI features in Adobe Photoshop. I mostly work as a director, but I also have a background in graphic design. I'm always using Photoshop. I'm about to post this new directing headshot, but first I'm going to show you how I use Photoshop's generative AI features to make it awesome. All right, so here we go. This is a picture of me in the woods, and maybe I'm the only one who notices this, but there's like a little tuft of hair sticking out right here. So I'm going to tell Photoshop to remove hair and then click generate. I've sped up some of the generating time, but it's still pretty quick. And wow, isn't that amazing? That would have taken me maybe half an hour to do manually, but with Adobe's generative AI, you get photorealistic changes in just a couple of seconds. So let's jump to something more complicated. I'm wearing this really cool jumpsuit, but I'm just wearing my normal shoes. And so directors always have a look, and I think some cool Converse high tops would be a much better match with this jumpsuit. So to do this without AI, I would have had to go find a pair of shoes, photograph them at the exact same angle, or find a stock photo, Photoshop them in. And instead, we have almost instantly 3 different options here. All of them look incredible. I'm gonna pick this. You know, they look like maybe a designer version of Converse high tops. I think this looks amazing. Now, I've also gained some weight in the last couple of years, and so I'm a little softer in the middle here, and I really wish that I wasn't. So I'm gonna just see if the AI can make me a bit thinner here. So I'm typing in less fat around middle. This will just take a second. Incredible. Okay, there you go. Couple different options there. I think that's great. Now, it didn't really change the shape of my stomach, but I think we can all agree if I was eating 2 green apples, I would be a lot healthier. And so me holding the 2 green apples actually makes me look thinner. So that's perfect. Now, the place we took this photo happened to have a big broken tree in it, so I want to make this a nice full tree. Now, again, this is something that could take 10, 12, 20 hours if you were doing it by hand. With generative AI, it takes a couple of seconds. Wow, really incredible. All right, now I wanted to take this picture out in the forest because I love nature, but I also love cats. So I think it'd be cool if I had a cat, you know, like in my lap. So let's go ahead right here and I'll select this area and we'll put a cat in my lap. Cat in lap, that's all you have to type. The machine learning is so smart that it allows you to interpret and extrapolate what you're looking for and gives you this completely photorealistic cat right on my lap. Perfect. That definitely looks like there's a cat in my lap. And you know what? When we added the apples, I just noticed it removed my watch. And I always think it's cool when people have like a really fancy watch. So I'm gonna put a fancy watch here and see if we can get one of those. Perfect, that looks great. Now, my hair has also gotten a little grayer since this photo was taken, and I'm just gonna add some gray hair so I look current. Wow, very, very photorealistic. Then the other thing I'm gonna do here is directors kind of need an angle, like something to stand out. So I think it'd be really cool if there was a falcon on my shoulder, especially with a cat on my lap. Let's go ahead and render that. Wow. I mean, people are going to wonder, how did I get a cat out in the woods to pose for this photo? How did I get this falcon? I must be the kind of director who can really get things done. All right, I'm taking a look at this whole thing now. I think the shoes look great. The jumpsuit looks great. Now, I had actually bought some goggles to go with all of this, but I forgot them in the car when we hiked out to the shoot. No problem. I can just replace my glasses with goggles using the generative AI. Click generate. Wow, that's perfect. I think a lot of design professionals should be really worried about how realistic this looks and how easy it is to do. A great director can never be too prepared, so I'm gonna put some notes in my pocket so that subconsciously people know that I'm really prepared. Okay, perfect. I'm also starting to have some second thoughts about setting this outside, so I wanna add some more items that just scream film set. So I'm gonna put a clapboard over here. Okay, that looks great. Very difficult to tell it's photoshopped. And then a megaphone hanging off the chair. Yep, perfect. That's exactly what it looks like. And I think maybe now that I'm looking at this, I just want to make this whole thing inside on a forest set instead of actually in the forest. So I'm going to highlight the whole background and tell the generative AI to replace it with a film set. Amazing. That's incredible. Wow. All right. So now the next thing, I've been thinking about how I'm not super well connected. And I've noticed that a lot of directors, you know, especially if they have a famous mentor, they get a ton of work. So I'm gonna just fib a little and add Steven Spielberg sitting back here in this area. Okay, I guess that's fair. Yeah, the generative AI won't do a specific person, which honestly, probably that's for the best. So I will just tell it to do an older Jewish mentor figure. Wow. okay, Adobe AI, you see me. I don't need a famous mentor if I have my own blank canvas. That's actually very profound. And with the generative AI, it actually stops you from making mistakes like name dropping someone you don't know and has you look inward for your own inspiration. And so for it to put a blank canvas here, and that's how it interpreted Steven Spielberg, it's really cool. One of the last things, I've just been working out more, and that's not really reflected in this photo. So I'm going to highlight all of my limbs and then tell Adobe's generative AI to make my limbs more muscular. Holy shit, I look jacked. That's awesome. So I have won some awards, and that's not really reflected in this photo. So I want to just put some awards here. And you know what? I'm going to dream big. Let's make them Oscars. Perfect. Okay, I'm really close to being done here. I just feel like this still needs more cats. So I'm going to add a cat here, here, add a cat here, cat here, cat here. This is great. This is probably what I would end up with. But because I want to show you all of the cool features, I also want to show you how the generative crop works. So I'm going to pull this out here, click generate, and then bam. You would never know this wasn't taken on a wide angle lens in a studio. This is incredible. So here you go. This is before and this is after. You can hardly tell which one is photoshopped, but they both look incredible. And so I'm going to go with this new one for my director's headshot and go get some work. So thanks Adobe Generative AI. And when I first started using Adobe, you would pay for it once and then that was it. You just had one thing and you were stuck with that one piece of software that worked really well. And now what's so cool about it is instead of paying once, you actually rent it from them and you pay it once a month forever. And you cannot use it unless you're paying once a month. So, you know, I used to be able to support Adobe, maybe with a student discount, maybe it'd be like $60 a year. But now, you know, I've probably paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to Adobe instead of that $60. And so in a way, I'm one of the developers of this generative AI. And that's really cool. And I'm really proud of that. All right. So that's it. Hit me up for more Adobe tips and tricks, and I'll tell you how to do them.